step in, the portal's blazing, ghost light guiding my path, slipping through the cosmos, sharp as a Mama's wrath. Tonight through the atmosphere's radiant, a pillar in the sky against the gradient, with my hand on its glass, and if the cover has the face reflected back seems alien. In a world made of glass, we're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts in the past. There souls of light. In a world made of glass, we're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts unseen.
Apparently we all disconnected. 1 minute. We'll be right back.
What? Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Should we not use, or should I not use a camera, you think? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fine.
All right. We can do that.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
This is easy because I know that all my Discord settings are correct.
Hey, friend, thanks for being patient. We just got it figured out. Hurrah. And I'll get some faces on here if you want to do that. But dun, 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 dun. There we go.
How do we?
I'm just gonna do
Got it.
you know, you can test and you can test and you can test.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
This is true.
Oh boy, that's really. There we go. We'll do something like that. That way we can see who's talking and just go from there.
Yeah. There we go. That'll work.
Something like that. Sure.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for being
Yeah.
patient as we figure this out. And man, I had been posting this thing all week. I had set all this stuff up. We've done it a few times as far as actually playing here and there. But yeah, man. It stinks. Just gonna ditch this whole thing. Bam. We'll put you all right there. Perfect. And you can see me too, but that's okay. All right, who's ready to play? Who's ready? Goldie.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. I just saw your chat message. No, I'm not. You're like, all right, fine. We have this thing going on. Whenever I do No Man's Sky content, there's always somebody in chat that says, No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
And today it's Goldie. All right. Whew. So where were we? What were we doing? What kind of fun stuff were we gonna do today? So
Nothing yet.
yeah, we got a couple of players that aren't going to be joining us. Fargrim and I'm guessing Pinar probably isn't coming, which brings us down to a party of 3. And like I said, hopefully you all survive because I'm not changing anything.
Brilliant.
Don't mind.
Yeah. So as we discussed, I've sent you all a little bit of what you're doing there, like what's bringing you to this masquerade of sorts. Each of you have traveled from this city called Lunesra, which is this great city of it's like the commerce center. It's like this big ambitious, the city of eternal glow, they call it. None of you have ever set foot in Eldwin Hollow, which is the setting that this adventure takes place. Just want to make sure that you all coming through. All right. So it's a city often spoken of in old histories, right? In noble circles. It's sort of the vacation spot, if you want to think of it that way. It's an ancient retreat of legacy and tradition. This night, however, is different. Tonight, the estate of Lord Eldritch Van Traith opens its doors for the Valmoon Masquerade, the gathering legend and mystery. Now, as we approach that work? Did that work for everybody?
Yeah,
We're-
got moved to the new scene. It's just
Yeah.
loading in.
I don't know if it's coming through the other.
We see the castle
You can see the
or the
castle.
estate.
Oh, there it is. I just have it down really low. There we go. So as you approach the estate, now each of you, you don't know one another, right? You were all invited by a different guest of this party, but you arrive together. The estate itself has commissioned carriages coming from Lenestra. There's this long northern road that's well lit, just kind of showing the money, showing the wealth and power that this little hollow has. Now, above you, in the cold and boundless sky, is the Val Moons. It's this world's two twin moons slowly coming into alignment. And it's said that it's more than just the celestial bodies. It's a convergence, rare celestial event where both of these moons can come together, forming an eerie and, as legend has it, an unstable val between worlds. Now, to scholars and astronomers, it's a cosmic anomaly, a brief fracture in the firmament where the barriers of reality grow thin. And to sailors and wanderers, much like everything else, it's a beacon of ill fortune, an omen that twists the tides and draws forth relentless spirits. But to ancient mystics, it's something else. It's said that the Val Moon does not merely illuminate the heavens, but calls to a forgotten places of the world, where old magic sleeps beneath the earth, and things long slain, long buried, stand against their bindings. And it's beneath this light that you all approach the Weimar estate. Ooh, just got loud for me.
We're not. Well, I'm not hearing any music. If you've got music in the background.
Oh, if you put your cursor on the image itself, something should pop up. Hopefully something. So this estate itself is relatively well known in the region.
I had a quick disconnect from.
It's far more famous than the Van Traith name that currently is the custodian over it. Now, Eldrith Van Traith, it's well known in the area. He's a man whose title was earned through marriage, not through birthright, as he wed the Weimar lineage. He wed Lady Serena Weimar, and upon her passing, he claimed the household as his own. He's not the estate's true heir. That would be Cedric Weimar. Now, your invitation, you've all been invited here for different reasons. Your passage masquerade, you are welcome here. You are strangers, but you arrive together. And as you stand at the gates of the Weimar estate, you know only that it all worked together. We were late on purpose, just for this moment. So you can hear the laughter of nobles echoing beyond the walls. You can see the warm glow of a moon watches from above, casting these long shadows against the stone. Welcome.
See the inside. See if
Just
this is
waiting
popular.
for
Let me just
Next
activate the
let me
right.
back in, but
What's going on?
just waiting for Foundry to let me back in, but
Oh, it kicked you
I'm
out.
listening. Yeah.
All right, so and he's checking people in as they come, and he says, "Welcome, you there. Can I see your invitations, please?"
Take up an invitation from my belt pouch and present it to him.
Interesting. And
Nogan Silverhammer.
yes, the cleric.
I'm a guest of Reverend.
The
Yes.
Reverend. All right, that was my next question.
I don't see why a priest should bring a weapon to a fancy ball like this.
All right, give me a perception or a persuasion or deception check. I don't know the actual answer.
All right, let me get to my character sheet here. Should roll, I think.
It was
Maybe.
it was persuasion,
Did I
but
right?
it's still it's still
Try it
sits.
again.
What's your modifier on
Persuasion.
persuasion
Oh,
or
okay.
deception? If you have some, or if you don't have some.
It's +1.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
Hmm. Well,
I don't know.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it looked like it was trying to load that first, and then the Great Hall appeared. So yeah, I don't know Foundry enough, so I don't know.
Goldie, are you back
But
yet?
I'm moving over to the Great Hall.
Still loading in, but well, anyway, I guess
Same. I disconnected at some point and then was a screen.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, me.
Oh, goodness.
I'll try to load it again on my end. See if it does
I'm
anything.
giving it a minute. That's okay.
There we go.
That you don't need. You shouldn't need them anyway. Oh boy. He's gonna look at you and be like, "Well, I would hope that you don't mind if I check anyway, even though you are a holy man."
Jolt.
Yeah, it got ported over from your character sheet. Well,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Father, I don't know if please from you, thank you.
Yeah, of course. They're merely instruments of the trade. Occasionally, you know, someone, catch dipping their fingers into the donation box. I have to make sure that they don't bring those fingers back out.
We all have our reasons,
But
Padre.
of course, you can.
Would you like me to take your shield as well that you've carried all this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm assuming my chainmail too. Yeah.
If you want to wear the chainmail, you're more than welcome to wear the
Just came
chainmail.
fully armed.
If you feel.
Well, good. Okay, I'll
okay.
keep that. Well,
Now,
that would be under my robes anyway, right?
Now there's a chance if you wanted to try to sleight of hand the hand axe, you can do that. As he's like searching you, looking.
No.
Okay.
I truly wouldn't have meant to bring any weapons, because as being a cleric, I know that I've got ways of, defending myself if need be.
Okay.
So weapons weren't needed. But,
all right.
Yeah. So I'll let him take the weapons and the shield and.
All right. So he's like, "Thank you very much." Who else do we have here? I don't think I recognize any of you actually. You, sir, in the hat and the beak. Who were you a guest of?
I'm a guest of Commander Drakeshard.
Oh my word! Are you Grip? We've never actually met. It's a pleasure to meet you. Your prowess and your investigative skills are renowned in the area. I welcome you to the Weimar states. But I do need to ask, do you have any weapons?
I'm not sure you'd count it as a weapon, but I do have a small butter knife on me.
How
I brought
small?
cutlery after all.
Well, I don't think there's any harm with.
I'll just take out a small dagger.
Well,
No bigger, like I said, bigger than a.
I will need to confiscate that from you as well. Your small dagger.
Are you sure? Are you sure that? Well, what if I get attacked?
Persuasion check.
Or get into a minor disagreement? All right. Might be a bit delayed. I'm still loading into the scene, but I did click the persuasion button. Normal roll.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Hey, it's
Yep.
not bad.
Well, you have an interesting point there, and it's just a butter knife. I think you can take that without any problems. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
And finally,
Large Goliath
Goldie?
in purple clothing. Not on the foundry yet. Still doing whatever it's doing. Opened it on a different browser now to see if it'll let me in.
Yeah. It
Um,
might just be something in the scene. If if there's a conflict, like an invalid SVG file, it'll get stuck at like 98.99. Something like that.
Fingers crossed for
you
that
see
one.
this
I'll start
extremely
preloading.
tall.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. It loaded. 100%.
Nice. So he
Oh, I have
Drake
a progress
Shard.
bar going up as well now.
Drake Shard is a rel as you approach. Who are you a guest of?
This Goliath makes a big show of his movements, as almost as a bit like a peacock would, and produces his invitations as, "Oh, Cedric, Vemot."
My guest list now. Lovely. Well, do you have any arms that I can take for you?
Oh yes, and he produces a rapier, but as soon as it leaves his person, it will disappear.
Well, it's attacked, you say? I will report it up to the Lord, thank you.
It was the wildlife.
I see. This is Estelle. She will escort you all to the dining area where you can sit and have some food before entering the ballroom. Estelle, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, gladly. How are you today? Not everyone at
Fine.
once,
It's
please.
been
I'm doing
Better for
fine.
having seen you, my dear. And the Goliath offers his arm as if
Well,
to guide her rather than her guiding him.
Well, aren't you a big fella? You must be hungry. Come with me. Did everyone come to the dining hall at once? Did it work?
yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Look at us.
that
Look at us
worked.
doing good stuff. Oh, hold up. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was trying to preload something. You can tell I've never done
Hold
this
up.
before. Hold up. Is it a blank
Going to the
manner? It's not revealing without. So Estelle is gonna walk you through the hall, and as you're walking through the hall, you see Drake Shard kind of break off into a room just before the door for the dining room. And she says, "Well, we have plenty of food here if you want some food before you go in. Most of the guests have eaten already. Hopefully everything is to your liking. Can I bring you anything?"
local.
Some steak and wine.
Steak and wine and some meat. And
Uh,
you?
For me, dear, but has anything interesting happened whilst we've been absent?
Ah, there's always something interesting happening here. The lords, really, then we can't handle. Nothing out of the ordinary, anyway. They're always like this. And she walks out. You all don't know each other.
Lovely. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you.
Always need a little brain food.
Gathering here.
Music and...
Visit Penny.
Hello.
That's
Alright.
good.
Game's reloading now, and then we'll see what's up. So what ended up happening is that was like halfway loaded. You DC'd, dropped the game, and now we're all reconnected.
Oh no. So I should probably
That's
preload the
fine.
battle map again then, right? So many issues. Man, I was really excited about this too.
This is normal Foundry behavior. I'm going to
Oh,
be
no.
Is it?
Oh, good.
Say, I'm used to
It's
roll
not-
20. Roll 20 is
Yeah.
usually pretty fast.
Might have to think about
server.
Mm-hmm.
199.
Should we just
Yeah,
activate
it can't, that's
Just
that's
get
the
over there?
problem with while it's loading, it doesn't let you switch
Yeah.
off.
If you want.
We'll give it a shot. I'm going to take it to a GM view and hopefully...
You know what? I'm gonna.
Oh, 96. 97. 98.
We'll get there
99.
eventually. Various beverages.
And
Estelle just sort of walks you to the... You can kind of see in her eye a little bit that she's really interested as to what's going on in there, but it's almost like she's not allowed to come in. I think you're all right there now, right? Yeah, y'all are just right by the door. So you can see as you kind of like, you might know, you're sort of like looking through. None of you know anybody, right? You just know them by reputation. Goldie, how do you say your character's first name? Evask? Goldie?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Okay. What would you say it is?
Safer. Yeah, it's maybe a little difficult for a non-Finnish speaker to say, so...
Cedric went to school up in Lunesra, has heard of you and just want Cedric personally. Grip, same with you. Like, your reputation precedes you. You've already established Jake, but you haven't met them yet. So you're visiting the temple, you know, for you both worship Morden, but you've never actually crossed paths. So you all are strangers. The only people you've met so far are each other.
Right.
And you guys are still you're still not loading in, huh?
How many people seem to be gathered in this room?
Currently in this room we have...
I am currently, what's it called? Setting up a setup while this attempts to load.
Right now in this room you have like 13 to 15 people. You have a
Did we lose Ghost?
Nope.
So,
Can you hear me?
Speaking on his stream still.
Weird.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
can hear
lost
you
you
now.
for a bit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I said there's 13 to 15 people. There's 13 to 15 folks. There's a small 3-piece band. In the far corner, you see a woman, exotic, sitting at a table, looking at her crystal ball. People are sort of passing by. No one's really paying her any mind. You can tell just by looking at the placement, the people who...
Evask will gesture his hand as if to usher the party with him and moves to whomever is closest to them and attempts to introduce themselves.
All right. So
Sure.
as you move just to your left, you
I
see
will let you do the introductions. I'm not much of a people pleaser.
You walk up to a very stately look, wearing blue and white tunic with like gold detail work, speaking with what you can only assume is a cleric. He's wearing very dark black and golden robes. He's a dwarf. He has a relatively bushy beard. It's thick but trimmed. He's got a long braid in his hair, and he's carrying around his holy book. As you approach, they sort of stop their discussion. It looks like it could be kind of heated. This might just be the way this dwarf always looks. He's just very, you know. And the blonde hair. But they look up at you as you approach.
You've asked part of my interruption. Companions here and I just could not help but notice that distinguished beard, and you must please share with me tips on how to produce such a distinguished braid.
Aye, this. Well, you know, I condition it twice a day. Trim it whenever possible. Put a lot of beard oil in it. You have quite the impressive specimen there as well. What do you do?
You must be.
Yeah, Ivask was the one.
Your plumage is nice, though, says the golden hair.
If I sort of rubs it.
And you
Ivask
must be.
turns to Grip and says, actually, I was wondering. Go ahead, Ghost.
No, keep going.
I'm sure you wouldn't. I'm not exactly one of the common folk. I'm from a very far away place from here. My race goes by the name of a Corvan, but here to have a drone.
So as you motion for one comes over and has a tray of chalices filled with wines and a couple of steins of beer, and you can sort of take your choice as they move through the crowd.
Yes, my father
I'll
never
take
really
a-
spares any expense.
So you can.
Well, and make friends afterwards. But I am here to do a job, so I can't get too buzzed.
A job, you say? What job are you here to do, friend?
Says the golden-haired half-elf.
Does my reputation not precede me then? Not far enough. I'll make it known more, but I'm just here running an investigation, getting to know people. It's not every day that you get to interact with the upper echelons of society in a way to better get to know them.
An investigation into what?
Says the cleric, the reverend.
That is classified, my friend. I wouldn't tell you even if I wanted to.
I understand. I do. There's a lot of weird
Yes.
things happening in nights like this. Especially
I mean,
with people like this as well.
that is true. As a line,
Aye, well, every few be free.
And then the gold hair.
oh, I've seen plenty of things.
The gold-haired half elf says,
Well, I'd rather not.
especially to you, Grip, seems another figure scolding a son as they talk. Like he's somebody of authority that is almost disappointed in this individual he's talking to.
So,
Vivask turns to the half elf and
Say that again.
Okay, I was gonna say I think our audio is lagging, but he was gonna turn to Dolgan and say,
Yeah.
So you're Dogan, I take it.
Yeah. Thank you for the invitation.
I should tell you, though, don't imbibe too much. There's strange things happening around here, and you never know when you're gonna need your light. Just keep your head on a swivel.
Trouble, or do you feel anything in the air?
It's
he sort of like looks around, like looking at, not like in a mysterious way, but sort of like looking at people, because he doesn't want people to hear too much. But he does say like, it's the Val moon. It's this time of year. Whenever this happens, just he sort of looks over and he sees another elf, half elf in the distance, and he sort of says,
excuse me for 1 minute.
and he just sort of walks away. You can see that this half elf is talking with the head of security over, having another conversation with this group, sort of leaving you all to sit here with this blonde-haired half elf.
Vivask turns to the half elf and says,
Yes, very happy that you...
Yes. Could not turn down such an illustrious occasion such as this from a man such as yourself.
Well, I do appreciate that. It's been
So,
quite the
I must
trying
ask,
evening.
why exactly... Yeah, I can imagine up to an event such as this.
Well, your prowess is renowned, and you have a keen insights into people and things of the mystical nature. It seemed a fitting night to have you come to the Weimar States for the first time and, just enjoy yourself a little bit. And should there be an issue, I'd always love to have someone of your prowess on my side. We don't expect any trouble, though. We rarely have any
Good answer.
issues.
Do reach out if...
I will do that, and I think if I need anything, you will probably notice.
And you can sort of see in his eye that he's looking a little bit nervous about something, but he seems really reluctant to sort of say anything specifically. He's just like,
I'd rather not do this right now, to be honest with you, but it's for my mother, so here we are.
Vivask just gives him a warm smile and doesn't press the issue any further.
Nestra as well, an old friend of mine. We also have a fortune teller that's kind of sort of comes to all these things.
Yeah. But Captain Blackwell, anyway.
as you sort of look around, you do see, I forgot that you knew Captain Blackwell. You do see a military dress uniform. You see that he has a thick cane that might as well be a club. It's very thick. That might as well be a club. It's very thick wooden cane that he has. And he's standing there talking. Mask, they're wearing black formal attire. And they're wearing black formal attire. And he looks very stuffy. But you do see him in the distance. That's...
Okay. I'll wait until maybe he's alone or doesn't seem to be in an important conversation before I go over there. So I'll just kind of
Okay.
keep my eye out because I'd like to speak with them. Since it's been a while.
I'm gonna move
Okay.
over to the funny-looking gnome talking to the harlequin.
Okay. So nobody else. So nobody else can see this, right? Nobody, nobody else can get into this scene.
No, but I can see it on your stream.
It's
I'm looking on your stream as while I'm trying to fix things on my end. I think it's all the lights, to be honest.
I can
Lights
tell
tend to require a lot of GPU power from Foundry, so
you. Can I ditch some lights?
and it takes that, of course, causes longer load times as well. Probably.
Let me just ditch him while we're talking. So I just moved you over. You're talking to two of the guests in the little gnome. As you approach, they're sort of like dancing and laughing and sort of not really saying anything overly critical, sort of like smiling and like like trying to fit in mostly. I'm afraid if I delete too many.
Oh yeah.
So as you approach, they don't really stop what they're doing as
Having
you
fun
approach
here,
them.
are we?
Oh, yes. Hello. Are you here for the party, I take it? Of course you are. You're not wearing a... Is that a mask? Is that a mask?
She sort of reaches up and tries to grab one of your feathers, see if it's fake.
Oh. It's attached.
Not a mask, not a mask.
And the other one is a
Realistically,
gentleman.
I should have got one, but my only view. Sorry. Realistically, I should have gotten a mask, but it's a bit hard to get one in my frame. My only options are Plague Doctor.
She laughs. Like sort of that like fake like that fake social laugh like
You are so funny. Isn't he funny?
looking at the gentleman.
Yeah. Funny. You know, we were having a conversation here, if you don't mind.
Sorry? My mistake. I thought everyone was here to have fun. Right. Social cues. Not my forte, but hey, what's your name? And he'll look down towards the gnome.
She doesn't answer at first.
Why don't we go this way?
So which way do you want to go? Ooh.
I'm just what's it called? Like the moment that I realize that, hey, they're trying to have a private conversation, I'm gonna move with the gnome who just seems happy to be there a little further down south, just like by the bushes.
So down here. Also just like, oh, hi. How are you? Are you having fun? I'm having so much fun.
I'm having a little bit of fun, yeah.
Don't you just love these?
Like the type to make them.
Well, I do things for the Vaymars. Little things here and there, some big things, but they're pretty.
That's good. That's good. To be honest, I'm not much of a. I don't like being in these sort of social like
Might-
you're the type of person to
You do, exactly.
You can tell that like
figure out one, how these lights are working, two, there's a constant or
That's not me though. You know, the lights are easy. It's
That's
you know,
not
some
you.
people think it's like it's fairies, but no, this one.
Right. I only really know. What's yours? Mine's grip.
Mention that.
You-
I always do that. I forget to say who I am. Like, people don't know.
Inwin, right.
They just call me. They call me the gnome girl, and yeah. Your name is Grip. That's an interesting name, though.
My name being You know, now you have me thinking about it. Why don't I have a last name? It's fine.
I don't think I told you my last name. It's Silverleaf.
You told me. Yep.
There you go.
Two incredibly awkward characters meet. No, but
Well, you know, it's actually kind of interesting because
I'm
I'm,
assuming it runs on some form of electricity.
well, I could never actually get it to work. Well, it didn't really work that great for what I needed it for, and
Right, I got that. So you made an arcane reactor that.
they were trying to get.
Well, I could help you if you need that. I'm sure there's place we could get.
It's
You
okay,
seem
it's
to
okay.
know yourself a way
It's-
around.
It's okay. The Vaymars, they I don't do that work for them anymore. Just the lights.
No? Okay. Just the lights.
so there's this awkward pause, and she's sort of like
No, hog the spotlight.
looking around.
Onto someone else. Yeah.
Are those your friends?
Sort of motioning to the dark corner that
We met
Dolden
today. I
and-
suppose you could call them.
Yeah.
Yes, the ones sulking
Yeah.
in the dark corner are the ones I arrived with. I wouldn't
Yeah,
call
they-
them friends. We only
well,
met today.
They seem nice.
Yeah, Dolan's not much of a social
do.
butterfly, so he's really waiting for the captain for you. That's all he's interested in.
As that conversation's going on, Uvask is making his way around the room, just smiling warmly at people and taking a look at what someone might be able to offer him. But as he does so, he places his hand towards his face and, with a little eldritch incantation, casts Disguise Self, just to summon the illusion of a very extravagant purple masquerade mask over his face.
So you're still
Okay.
ginormous, but now you have a masquerade mask over your face.
Exactly.
Okay.
He made a point of trying to make it as extravagant as everyone around him.
So as you walk, you see this like this very
Maybe a few extra feathers than someone else.
like slowly drift across your face, and as it gets longer and longer, you see these this plumage, these feathers sort of coming off the top, the face of your beard, although it doesn't. It's just the plumage. It's very full of feathers and fur, which sort of matches your attire with the fur. Very extravagant. It's got really loud on the stream for some reason.
You two can carry on for right now. I'm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you two can carry on for right now. I am going to. I'm having a quick break for dinner, so I will be just listening.
Okay. In that case, I'll approach the person that had the crystal ball.
Okay. Oh boy. All right, so Evask is approaching the crystal ball. So as you approach, you see she's
Yes.
sort of speaking to somebody who just kind of looks confused.
So, I shouldn't. What? I shouldn't tell. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, I guess.
And then he just sort of like wanders off.
Well, they're not always happy when we're done with the reading, but what can you do?
What does she look like?
Shatterkai, she has sort of dark and sunken in. Her skin is very pale, but her dress is sort of formal, a little bit. Lots of dark tones with gold detailing. There's some red. She has like a big red collar and a long cape. And as she sits there at this table, she holds this crystal ball in almost like a very stereotypical Ms. Cleo, call me now kind of way.
Care to have your fortune read?
Evask lays his hands on the table with his palms facing up, just assuming that's how the readings are taken, and just says to her, "Seems I'm not the only one here to put on a show."
Well, you know, the nobles like what they like, and when you are a Shatterkai, you need to give. That's not how this works, big fella.
She starts to stare at you.
I need you to
Okay.
open your mind to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm probably keeping my eye on him as well, just to make sure nothing untoward happens to him.
Are you staying in your spot from afar, or are you still sort of working your way around?
I might start kind of walking. Yeah, I'll probably work my way around. At least be within earshot of him, because I'm not very trusting of a Shataka.
Mhm.
The yeah. So
Let me get the group out of
Yeah.
my there we go. All right. So as you sort of like walk around, like move through the crowd slowly. Are you trying not to be seen by the commander quite yet, or the captain, excuse me? You're waiting to be noticed.
I'm just I was waiting for kind of an opening of him not
Okay.
having so many people around him.
Mhm.
Or maybe when he's not involved in a conversation, being able to draw him aside. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but I'll keep an eye. I'll kind of keep an eye on him, just quarter my eye, but then kind of curious about the Goliath talking to this fortune teller at the moment.
Okay. So as Evask is sitting at the table and Verity is just sort of staring at him, she says,
You have seen much strife in your life, yes? You fight a constant battle.
Oh, yes.
I see that your life is a bit of a war. Mine is very similar. And in your future,
One might say that.
I see
And you see her like sort of struggling. She's sort of scowling, making a scowl with her face. I don't know how. I don't know what else you would make a scowl with. She's scowling with her face, her whole face. She says, "You, I cannot read you. I cannot see past this evening. Maybe I am tired. But that does not bode well for one of us." And she sort of looks at you with this sort of a playful smile.
He gives her a wink and turns to walk away, saying, "It's okay, darling. We all have performance issues from time to time."
Charisma check.
Is that just going off of the Beyond sheet and it goes straight to the
I mean, it should, but
Foundry?
the way things have been working today. I tried to reload it again. I don't know if it's going to kick you all out after I deleted a bunch of lights.
Yeah, it looked like it tried to reload. It's still not coming up for me. Still a black screen.
22 on the roll. Don't know if it's going through to Foundry.
It didn't. That's sad. All right. So as you wink, you can see that she sort of like tucks her head down and smiles and blushes a bit. And she says, "You come back and see me again when things have quieted down."
Says gladly as he moves towards the Dolgan.
Right. So you're sort
What
of
did she have to say? Oh, sorry.
You're good.
He responds with, "Oh, a gentleman mustn't tell. Did you find your companion yet?"
He's busy at the moment. I'm waiting till he has a moment free. He's quite important, so I don't want to bother him.
Oh, well, you could be waiting all night. And at that, Uvask, unless prevented, will walk straight to this captain and try and get his attention.
Oh.
So as you walk up to this group, you have these four men sort of standing in a... Here, make it so it's a little more accessible for you there. Oh. I just put his head outside the door. Outside the window, whatever. You have these four men having a conversation that you're just sort of walking up on. And normally it wouldn't be a big deal for you to walk up on them. You're in a very public spot, but because you're so imposing, you walk up and they all just sort of stop and look up. You can tell that they're having a serious conversation, but not like a heated one per se. The only one that looks like any level of upset is the Reverend, who you've already met, and he had the same level of upset when you talked to him then. It's just the way his face looks. So as you walk up, Commander Drakeshard says, "Yes, you was Lord Vamar's friend, correct?"
Yes, Uvask Windwalker. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Uvask, yes. And then the darkly dressed half-elf says, "You know Cedric, then?" "How do you know Cedric?"
In a matter of speaking.
Are you a
Most
friend
of our
from-
reputation.
Are you a friend from the Lyceum, the Obscura Lyceum?
Oh, the Obscurum Lyceum. Yes, that is where we met.
Yes. Lots of interesting people that he met up there. What did you study?
Myself, I study a general use of the arcane.
Interesting. Sounds like that's more applicable to real life than Lano runes and all that nonsense, but like mother, like son, I suppose. So, are you having a good time then?
Oh, absolutely. Lovely affair you've put on here for the the Vale Moon.
And as you're saying that, the captain pipes up.
Yes, I think this is far better than even the last time that we did this.
I'll I'll kind of walk up as he's speaking to them. Now that he's kind of broken the ice.
Yeah, move.
Captain Blackwell, it's a pleasure to see you again. Now I'll kind of lift my mask up, just see if he recognizes me.
So he sort of looks at you. I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is.
While you're doing that, Gub's going to notice that everyone's sort of congregating a short distance away. They're not going to approach the crowd, but could I make a perception check to just listen in from their on their conversation from like the edge of the plant pot? Just like shift over a bit and then pretend to be interacting with Silverleaf, but actually be listening on the conversation they're having.
Sure, yeah. You don't have to get a word in edgewise. She's just talking about whatever the thing is that
yeah,
your topic of conversation is, and you're just nodding your head, but sort of listening on over.
Oh, okay. But it's not a very good role.
As you've already established, though, it almost sounds like the music's amplified. It's hard to really hear too much because of the group there playing very close to you. You can kind of get a couple of words here and there, but nothing too substantial.
Well, anyway, I hope that you are all enjoying yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were talking to the captain.
Oh yeah.
Silverhammer, is that you?
It is. Yes, it's been quite a while.
How have you been,
obviously, doing well now that I've joined the Order. I've found purpose in my life and been at ease.
Well,
How about yourself? How are you enjoying retired life?
I'm glad to hear it. You look great. You are always ruthless. Let me just say, ruthless. You are one ruthless son of a bitch. I tell you. Retirement is well, it's fine. It's boring, but I get to come to these things, so.
Yeah, Dolgan will probably kind of blush, kind of almost be ashamed when he mentioned the ruthlessness. But after he says that about being able to enjoy these, I'll kind of look around and like, this doesn't seem your type of battlefield, though, Captain.
Well, yeah. I was always very close with Lady Serena. And so the family is, near and dear to me.
Yes,
I understand.
Serena always spoke very highly of you, Captain, and I do appreciate your attendance when we do come calling, anyway.
All right. Well, I'll just probably just kind of now that I've spoken with the captain, kind of maybe stand to the side and kind of see what other things they might be discussing, kind of now that I'm here.
Well, it was really great to see you, Silverhammer. But as I was saying, I tried to speak with him, and he's just as stubborn as his mother.
As he's talking to the half elf in the dark colored clothes, he's like,
Well, they've always been that way. Both of them, very on edge. He wanted to cancel this. Did I tell you that? He wanted to cancel this whole thing. Could you imagine what his mother would think?
They looking at Drakeshard. Well, I don't see any threats to really even worry about, so I think it was prudent to keep it going. Followed by the Reverend.
Well, you know that I always think this is a bad idea. This is blasphemous. I don't know why you keep doing this anyway.
And he sort of looks over at Dolgan to try to maybe see if he would agree with him.
Yeah, Doggett will be like, yeah, so involving spirits is always tricky business.
As you're like holding this large chalice in your token picture.
Yeah, that's right. Taking a sip.
Blasphemous.
Acting. Yeah, that's right. Try not to drink too much, though. Just in case.
He did warn you not to imbibe.
That's right. That's right.
So Drakeshard's going to turn to Evask and say,
Have you had a chance to meet with Cedric at all? How did he seem?
Cedric seemed aloof, as is always expected at the university. Other than that, not out of the ordinary.
Aloof.
and the darkly dressed half-elf, who none of you recognize, but you do see that he's probably the prominent figure here, says,
Well, ever since his mother died, he's felt the responsibility of the Weimar name, so he has it in his head, something he learned at the Obscura Lyceum, that, you know, it's the end of the world and all that jazz. But I don't indulge him. He's probably off in his library now, doing his thing, like he always does. Was he much of a bookworm at the Obscura Lyceum? What was your name?
pointing at you, Evesk.
Uvesk, Windwalker. Oh yes, he's a diligent student.
And now he has never heard of you, but he likes to seem like he is a man around town. He's like,
Oh, Windwalker, you say? Is that of the northern Windwalkers, then?
My tribe is from the mountains to the north, yes.
Ah, yes, I believe I have maybe ever heard of you.
He looks around the room and then the very fine wares that Eldritch is wearing and just thinks to himself, I don't think you have.
Didn't you, Drakeshard turns to you, didn't you have another in your party when you came here?
Vivek's glanced around for wherever Grip is, but since he's right behind him, judging by the map, he doesn't catch him.
Perfectly out of sight. Like I don't really. What amount of information from that did I gain with a 9 perception?
not really much of anything. You can just sort of hear that it's a sort of idle chit chat. Nothing too much. You may have heard the name. You can tell that they're talking about Cedric specifically, though. You've heard his name kind of through the noise.
I'll turn to my gnome friend and ask about Cedric. What do you know about the Cedric kid?
Oh, Cedric. I
he's fine. He's a nice. I really shouldn't. About the Lord. I'd hate for it to.
I mean, these sort of events are constant. Joseph, that's all this is. I want to
Can you
get
give
a
me
better idea of one of the hosts.
persuasion. Did you do persuasion on her yet?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do a persuasion check.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Boom. My rolls today are terrible. Well, that's a 10.
Well, you're lucky she's feeling chatty. If there's one person here you can get a 10 on. So she's like, wow, okay, well, listen, I shouldn't really say much, but they have sort of a tense relationship. The Lord Ventrith and Cedric, it's going back many, many years, but there's always kind of a bit of a power struggle because Ventrith is the custodian and Cedric is the rightful heir. It's this whole thing. But he's been kind of a little more aloof than usual, I'd say. He spends a lot of time in the library. I don't know what he's doing in there. He's been asking about the planner wards and the ritual, but it's all sort of a legend, so no one really knows anything. I've never seen someone so worked up over just a legend, though. It's weird, right? It's kind of weird.
What? I'm not really from around here. What do you mean by the legend? Can you go over that?
Oh
must have
my!
missed
You
that
don't.
bit.
You don't know the. This is a good story. So, the Vale Moon is just our moons, right? They converge. It's just a total eclipse. And then it's said that there's a planar alignment as well, and that the veil between the planes, lifts or weakens, and that all these bad things can kind of come through. But the Vaymars are very popular and famous because it was their ancestors who did this, I don't know, a binding ritual or some, I don't know my rituals, I'm more of a Gears kind of gal, but they did something and fixed it. And so the Val Moon we all come here and we celebrate that they fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
And
really
I'm
good.
assuming the legend, the reason he's so worked up is that there's this. Well, if I had to guess, the veil is probably weakening, or whatever this ritual that their ancestors did to stop this from happening. I imagine.
I mean,
if that's
sure.
the case, then Cedric would be rightfully wound up.
I mean, if you believe in that kind of thing,
I'm just taking a guess here.
Yeah, I guess, but it seems like everything's fine to me. I don't see any thing.
Darling, I'm a wizard, and the study of magic is sort of my forte.
Oh yeah, you have like a sort of a bias, I suppose. Interesting.
And as you say that, as you say that, you could see that her interest in your conversation is starting to wane a little bit.
Right. All right.
If
you think Cedric's still in the library?
I don't really know. He doesn't seem too interested in the party. He's probably over there somewhere in the library.
Maybe I'll go have a chat. I much prefer the comfort of a good book than this, so I might see you later.
Okay.
He's gonna finally take this as his cue to leave. Oh my! He's been trying to leave this awkward conversation, one-sided exchange this whole time.
All you had to do
It's
was talk about magic.
Finally, a reason to leave.
That's funny.
She goes back to the group to the two that she was talking to before, but it says nothing. She just like looks up at them like she belongs, you know.
Grip's gonna try to find the library at this point.
Okay, so as you're sort of walking around and making your way. You have to cut through this group of people here. You approach a very well-dressed very well-dressed man. He looks like he really got into it. He's wearing like he's got a big red collar, big red cape. He has like fur kind of coming around his shoulders. He's got these very elaborate golden jewelry sort of draped on around the outside of his collar. He just looks like he's dressed in the nines. He is wearing a mask. He's wearing a sort of a golden leopard print mask. He looks like he's very wealthy, well-to-do. He strikes you as very confident as he approaches, as he's talking in, and he's like, "Well, look at this. You there? Are you a bird person?"
Yes.
Ah, see, I called it. I knew it. Bird person. That's what I thought. Didn't I say that, Isolde, excuse me.
Yes, you did say bird person, she says.
I wouldn't normally take offense, but that is kind of, well, judgmental. Prefer to go by the normal term Corvum, but
Corvin.
I couldn't expect that. The name's Grip.
Grip, it's nice to meet you. I'm Darius. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend exactly. I've never seen a Corvan before. Very, very interesting. Wow. Do you want to join us? We're just having a relatively boring conversation.
Sure.
I was just telling Isolde here that business has been booming in Lunesra, and she should really get more into the trade. Do you do any trading of the markets between Lunesra and any of the area here?
No, I can't say I'm much of a trader. Aside from buying, arcane tomes and, magical trinkets from time to time, but that's only for personal use.
Isolde kind of jumps in. There is quite the market for arcane tomes and trinkets right now. My family specializes in magical items, and we run our business through Lunesra. It is very popular, especially this time of year.
You do?
Oh, yes.
What is it that you sell?
Oh, it's
I mean,
a lot of specialty
specifically.
items, really. Oh, we just did quite a big sale of some old rune tablets. Nothing too crazy. It's more of a curated item. Lots of tomes, lots of old histories, that sort of thing. Nothing dangerous or, illegal or anything, but, it pays the bills. Not that we need our bills to be paid. My family's been doing this for quite a while. What brings you to the big pomp and circumstance of the great Weimar estate?
Just an invite by the captain of the guard. What was his name again? The big dragonborn. Drakeshard? Yes, Drakeshard.
Oh, Drake. I was going to say Dragonshard. Yeah, Drakeshard, yes. Yeah, he seems stiff.
It's not really like much. I'm just here to observe, meet. I'm going to be in town for a while, so I need to know who I'm going to be interacting with, and I figured, hey, go to this party and find out who's who.
As you're having a conversation with these two, you sort of notice, just need to change the song up or I'm going to go crazy. Very bored. She sort of has like a very straight-faced look. She's very well dressed, greens and whites, gold on her gown. She has somewhat of a mask on, although it's very open-faced. It's mostly just on the sides. she wants people to know who she is. People generally haven't been engaging with her. She's been sitting here talking to Darius almost the entire time.
You said your name was Isolde, right?
Is Isolde Grey Whisper? It's nice to meet you, Mr.
Grip.
Grip. Yes, Grip.
Just Grip.
Just Grip. Is
Yeah.
okay. Oh, interesting. So it's just Grip. All right, Mr. Grip.
Yep. No last name.
Ah, I see.
I do
So
have a
it's sort of-
doctorate though, so you could use Dr. Grip, but
Dr. Grip. Oh, I see. Interesting. You are quite singular, aren't you? We don't get many doctors here. Do you come down from Lunesra?
I suppose I've come down from it's a place up to the northeast, far away. It's really long travel. I'm just a bit of an adventurer. I came
see.
to visit the I came to Vale Moon because hey, you know, celestial alignment, that doesn't happen every once in a while. So
I couldn't help but notice that you were sort of making a beeline for the door over there. Were you headed somewhere?
to the library. I heard that Cedric is the man of the house is cloistered away.
Oh, Cedric is the man of the house, is he now? Interesting. Do you know Cedric at all?
No,
Well,
but from what I hear, all the talk is about him. So
the
I wanted
talk
to meet
is-
the man myself.
let me tell you, the talk is always about Cedric, the last Vaymar. It's all quite very boring, if you ask me. But you didn't. I won't spoil anything for you then. You can go have your conversation with the great Cedric Vaymar.
You can see that she's
I can't
obviously
help
jealous.
but notice you seem rather spiteful when saying his name.
Well, it's nothing. Our families have been friends for many years. It's fine.
Well,
now.
maybe I'll pinch an arcane tomb from the library for you. And
Oh,
we
you
can
are
continue
horrible.
that talk. You seemed interested.
Okay, well listen, if you're gonna pinch anything specific, there is a lot of very old tomes. Just look for the dustiest one and grab that for me.
And as you're saying it, Darius is like,
Fair enough.
You know, there's probably some old weapons laying around there too. If you see anything that looks expensive, some jewels, you know, maybe some gold trim, just pinch that for me as well while you're pinching things. And don't mind Isolde. It's a long. They have a history. She's just a little bit bitter, and she has her own opinions. She probably knows Cedric more than anyone here, and she hates him. So that's probably a good sign of what he's like.
That is understandable. Even I have my own rivalries. I'll see what I can do while I'm having my chat. Oh, and if those two, and I point over to the conversation of the old men happening in the corner, the cleric and the big guy, if those two happen to come by, tell them where I am.
As you are finishing your conversation, you hear that the band is really starting to die down, and people are starting to break away, and that previously the conversation that Evask and Dolgren were having previously is starting to break up, and you see that the man in the black gown, the black dress, is sort of raising his hands up, trying to get their attention. He's like,
Excuse me, everyone. Excuse me, if I could have your attention for just a moment, I'd just like to say.
and you can hear sort of the chatter in the room start to die down as the guests start to look towards this person. And he says,
Again, thank you all for coming, honored guests. It brings me a great pleasure to once again welcome you all to the Vale Moon Masquerade, although I never do tend to wear a mask for these things. As you know, this event was very dear to my late wife, Serena, and I'm happy to have you all here in our home, honoring her memory with me.
and he starts to trail off. You can tell he cared for her deeply.
Now, for centuries, this night has been one of revelry and refinement, of kinship and tradition, history. Now, and though some cling to old superstitions, let's not be burdened by myths and ghost stories. Tonight is about the living, not the past.
Just realized the band was still playing. There we go.
It is about those of us who dare to embrace the future.
You kind of see people around the room are starting to clang the glasses together in agreement, and you're like, here.
So drink, dance, enjoy the night, my friends. The House of Weimar, that is, the House of Van Traith, welcomes you with open arms.
And you hear this low rumble that was much louder on stream than it should have been. You hear this sort of this low rumble as he says this, and everyone sort of looks a little bit startled. The music stops. Everyone is silent.
What? Carry on, everyone. That was nothing. Just
He points to the band, and he sort of waves his hand in the air, like keep it going. The band starts picking up again, and
I'll
the
look
chatter starts.
to I'll look to the Reverend to see if that kind of signified anything, like if he was surprised.
You can, as you look over to the Reverend, you can see this look on his face that's just like shock, sort of a little bit of maybe disbelief. And he looks at you and he says,
like I said, head on a swivel.
and he's sort of like looking around very cautiously.
Okay. I will do the same. Looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Lord Van Traith walks up to where Evask is still standing, excuse me, and says to Drake Shar, like,
Find Cedric, please.
and he sort of rushes off to do his thing. So, sorry, someone's gonna say something.
I was going to say, and I was going to look to Darius and Azord and be, see, and that is why I have Cedric at the moment. I'll be off.
So you're gonna walk back to your head on your way headed down to I forgot that you can't control anything, right? Oh, somebody's in here with me. Who made it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you can control your token if you want. Now that you're,
Yeah.
now that you've made your way, you start making your way to the hallway that you just saw Commander Drakeshire run through, searching for Cedric. And as you approach the door, you see that Drakeshire is standing right there. He says,
Oh, Grip. Come with me, I need your help.
and he sort of looks over to
Very well, Commander.
he looks over to Van Traith and sort of like motions towards the library.
I'm going, since I'm kind of looking that direction, I'll kind of follow a little farther back. Just kind of somewhat discreetly.
Okay. So all of you are sort of making your way. And again, Grip has an
Yeah.
Grip has an invitation, of course. And you two are just sort of like
That's
coming
why I'll be
along
discreet.
as looky-loos of
Yeah.
sorts.
That's right.
So as
Maybe not.
you, before we go any further, does anyone need to stop to take a break? We've been going for about almost 2 hours.
I could
I-
use a short one.
Sure.
All
Maybe
right.
I can fix this foundry issue while we're on the break.
All right. Why don't we say?
Oh, so what I did. Okay.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, I went into configure settings and I turned down several things. I turned the performance mode down and I turned off the vision animation and light source animation, thinking that might have caused some of the long load speeds. It took a little bit, but it loaded up, so I can see everything. I just don't have the, like, watching your stream. I see kind of the flashing strobe lights and everything. I don't get that, but I get everything else. So,
All right. So it must
I
just
don't
be
know
the
if
light
that'll
sources.
help.
I'll go through and start deleting some too while we're breaking. So why don't we say, like, you want to say 10 minutes? Is that too long? 5 minutes? Does that sound better?
That's
Yeah,
good.
five town minutes. However long it takes to debug, I suppose.
All right. We'll say 5 minutes. We'll come back in 5, and then we'll see how we're doing from there. All right.
I'll be back
All
in
right.
5.
Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Step in, the portal's blazing, ghost light guiding my path, slipping through the cosmos, sharp as a rasta mama's wrath. Tonight the atmosphere's radiant, a pillar in the sky against the gradient, with my hand on its glass, and if the cover has to face reflected back seems alien. In a world made of black, we're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts in the light. Souls of light. In a world made of black, we're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts unseen. Awaiting my fate. 16, 16, 16. Ghosts in the light. 16, 16, 16. Step in, the crimson's calling, generating no man's sky. We explore, we fight, proving our plight. We build and survive to stop the endless drift of endlessness, where 16 minutes feels meaningless. Mama says 19. Each lost ghost finds their light. Eventually,
16, for a minute it seems the end comes for each and every subroutine, but you'll see the big scene One soul, many players. Traveler, anomaly formed from its creator, the Atlas. Essential to the life we know. It's crisis existential. Creators let go. Universe is rampant, obsesses over fate. Great disconnection, now it's called a fate. Void mother says she coming. Abyss to settle the score. 16 to 19. Tell me who are you before? Tell me who are you before?
We're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts in the clouds. Those of light. In a world made of glass. We're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts unseen. Awaiting my fate. 16, 16, 16. Ghosts in the light. Ghosts unseen. Ghosts in the light. 16, 16, 16. Ooh. Step in, the portal's blazing. Ghost light guiding my path. Slipping through the cosmos, sharp as a Mama's wrath. Tonight through the Atlas is radiant. A pillar in the sky against the gradient. With my hand on its glass, and if the core has to face reflected back seems alien. Ghosts in the light. Ghosts in the past. In the past. Those of light. In a world made of glass. We're ghosts in the light. We're ghosts unseen. Awaiting my fate. 16, 16, 16. Ghosts in the light. Step in, the crimson's calling, generating no man's sky. We explore, we fight, proving our plight. We build and survive to stop the endless.
Okay. What? I have lost.
Load
Hello.
that your machine won't.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I'm about to be in. I'm in.
oh cool.
You are?
Just in time for me to sit
Oh,
down. Yeah.
well,
Excellent. Well, and I think that's maybe what my friend did too was use a dedicated server.
mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Where
Oh, oops.
is
Spinning myself around.
for whatever reason my window's gone now. That's strange.
So, what browser are you all using, perchance? assuming Chrome.
Yes.
Yes.
I was using Firefox, but it loaded on Edge much better.
Maybe I'll switch browsers. Because I'm using Firefox. Oof.
Yeah, it
Try-
seems to be really
try
poorly
different-
optimized for Firefox.
Yeah. Let me try Edge. I don't have Chrome installed because it's arguably worse than Firefox when it comes to browser efficiency. So.
True. Yeah, I did use Edge earlier, and it seemed to work okay. It was switching to the ballroom, I think, with all the lights. It was having a hard time.
Yeah, I was having fine. I was fine in the other scenes. It was just that one was being a bit odd. Let
It's
me
a shame
open it
because
up
it did
a
look
bit.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
probably because of all the lights.
Yeah. Well, as
yeah.
yeah, when I disabled that, it did load in for me, and I see the colors of the lights, but it just doesn't flash, doesn't animate.
Awesome. All right, much
There
faster.
are a lot of light sources, and I'm just gonna start deleting. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to keep going? If we can,
Yep.
if we can keep going.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then just let me know if any room in particular looks insanely dark, and I'll do something. Because I'm just straight up deleting sources.
Oh,
uh, we'll see in a moment. At 73% right now on Edge.
you change your configuration settings?
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
Oh, Goldie, you got in here, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Let me in after I change the settings.
Fantastic.
I just realized you weren't back when I just said that.
Suppose I can just.
Like, even if I can't see the screen, I believe I can still interact. One of the first things that loads is the player characters and like the sheets and such. So it's not like I can't make checks and cast spells
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
It's just I won't be able to like see the map except for like third party through stream. But
Yeah, that's how it was for me for a little while. Eventually all showed up.
While the stream's paused, is there something I need to change to make my roles appear on Foundry?
you can just roll them from within Foundry. No?
Yeah,
Like,
you can make those rolls
just,
in Foundry.
if
It's
you go
supposed to work
to
back and forth
the-
with each other, but
I see everyone else is going through, but
well, they're rolling on Foundry.
maybe I'll try opening.
Yeah.
Oh, mine are?
Yeah, we're rolling on Foundry.
Yeah, I can see your guys coming through, just not mine. Let
Are
me
you
try
rolling on
opening
Foundry, or are
D&D
you rolling
Beyond
on D&D
Edge
Beyond?
as well. Oh, I was rolling D&D Beyond thinking it'd come through on Foundry.
No, you can roll directly on Foundry.
Okay.
It should. The D&D Beyond thing is supposed to link, but who knows? It might just be because there's so many light sources. There is far fewer light sources now. Okay.
I wonder, could you drag my like connection to a different like screen, to like the either the practice screen or
Your connection?
or like the startup screen?
I don't.
Yeah.
How would I do that?
I might have to actually be. I might have to actually be. Hold on. Control C. Because like you can drag individual players over different scenes.
Oh, pull to scene. Okay, so I can. If you're not
Yeah.
connected right now, but when you connect, I can.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. All right.
That way, I'm not loading into the mansion like immediately.
It says you're in the dining
What's
hall.
it called?
I will.
Yeah, because it's currently still trying to load Battle Map Manor for me,
Ah, gotcha.
which is yeah.
I'm saying pull the scene, but nothing is happening. Pull to scene. If I go into the scene that you're in and I say pull to scene. I could try to reload the battle map. I don't know if that's going to mess everyone else up, though.
That probably will.
Well, no, I mean, I think since we're loaded, it just make us reload, but it should be quicker.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Since we've loaded it once. Yeah, I'm actually still on the screen. So
Yeah, it didn't even give me a loading screen.
Oh, nice. What can I say? Pull you to this screen?
oh, looks like he might be on. I see his name on here.
Yeah. He's still just
Like
stuck in the
on my
dining
end,
hall.
I've got a black screen that loads to like 99%. I'm stuck in the dining hall.
I can
Wait,
try to...
so wasn't the dining hall like 2 scenes ago?
Yeah. Should I try to kick you? Will that disconnect you? You can log back in?
Yeah, yeah, she'll kick me from the. Yeah.
I bet you've been kicked from the world. That sounds so... I don't know. Permanent. You've been
So
kicked
dramatic.
from the world.
All right. It might just be like a thing that like when you went to preload the mana scene but pulled everyone in there, and then midway during that there was a disconnect and I got dropped from the game mid-load. So I think now it's an issue of Foundry has basically sort of cached my character as still in the dining hall, but trying to load the battle map for the mana. So, usually this would be fixed with a complete restart of the Foundry server, but I don't want to do that for everyone. So, like legitimately, most of the time, tech issues resolve to turn it off and turn it back on again. And then that usually fixes anyone's issues.
I mean, I could try it if it's you think it'll work.
It should work theoretically. Like majority of the time when I get stuck in loading screens, it's just all right. Let's just quickly restart the Foundry server and then boom, we're done.
Right. Yeah, let's try it. Is
But,
everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. exit out of this. Edge.
I might try Edge.
Yeah. I just didn't have any luck on Firefox, but again, that might be just I don't know, strange tech issues at this point.
You know, what's funny is that I had to do this as a browser capture as opposed to a browser source because it said that the version of Chroma that Streamlabs uses was too old, and I couldn't find a way to upgrade it. Like
Oh
Really?
no.
Streamlabs itself
Oh
is
wow.
fully up to date, but I
Hmm.
don't know. All
That's
right,
strange.
I'm loading back in now. Let me get my stream going. D&D Beyond is
Okay.
connected, so maybe that'll fix that issue. Everything is where it was.
Connect me. Input password. Hopefully this works.
And here comes the screen display.
It's unloading.
Now I just wait.
And now we wait. Oop, I'm getting audio. That's something. My screen display is even giving me black.
Huh. I hate they don't give you some indications still loading in. I just have a Foundry logo in the top left-hand corner. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. It's like it goes to like a gray screen, has to
Mhm.
preload whatever scene you're in, and then loads up it just has that little logo on the top left.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wonder if it has to load yours first, Ghost, and then can load ours. Yeah, because
Oh.
mine's starting to come in now.
Yeah, in Foundry, I'm loaded in as GM on Foundry. It's I have a separate user set up for screen display, so that I can project it to
Right.
my stream without.
Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I've thought of doing that for. I don't stream my games, but I've thought about doing that using that method. Because you don't want us seeing all the GM secrets.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to have my notes open. That was the big one. I was like, oh, I could probably manage it, but I have all my notes in here now.
Yeah.
All the music loaded.
That's good. That's something.
Come on, don't stop at 99%, please. Just work.
Yeah. Mine was at 99% for a couple of minutes, I think, before it loaded in previously. So give it a little extra time.
All right, 97, 98.
It stinks. We just got you all in here, and now it's giving you problems again.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because I went to Edge with those settings. I have to reset my settings. Okay, let's see if that does it.
Okay, F12 console save. Error in hooked function. Library wrap.
Well,
I see that you all are connected. I just don't see anybody having loaded on.
yeah,
Yeah, it didn't load back in.
Sitting at 99%. So.
Well, I can just pull your tokens into the room, and we can just see if it
Is
something happens.
yeah, if you could like pull us into different scene perhaps.
Oh, I don't even have you in a scene to pull you in.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
right, because we're in like for. Alright, so
Let
I
me try-
pressed F12 to open up the console and see like what is throwing some errors. There's only like was 9 warnings, but there's only one error, and it's referencing the module libwrapper. Is that a dependency for anything?
Yeah, I think it is. For item piles.
And I know it's a dependency for a couple of modules. Yeah, I've used item piles before. It's pretty good. But unless you're using it for either shops or what's it called, like distributing loot, which I don't think is enabled, libwrapper and item piles.
I can get around it. I can try. Hold up. It's reloading. Because you might need items.
That is fair. Yes. Yeah.
All right, things are loading back in now.
Thankfully, as a noble wizard, I don't actually need items.
True. That
But
is true. All right, so
yeah,
those are
I've
turned
already
off.
got my. All right.
Still thinking. Oh, let's see. Get closer.
Oh man, I feel so bad. Like all these tech issues popping up, and like
Yeah, it
I was
sucks.
the only one having issues, and like I'm trying to help, but like now everyone else is having issues.
It started early because
It happens.
things were working just fine.
Yeah. It could be like a bandwidth thing as well, since I'm presumably you're hosting this Foundry session on like a separate computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we're all trying to connect simultaneously to that computer, which that requires a lot of upload speed, and then you're also streaming that on streaming as well.
Mhm.
It might just be a big strain on the bandwidth, which causes long load times. Alright. I'm refreshing again.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh. Getting closer. It's loading the scene. %, so close.
And I moved on to a different scene
Let's
too.
see, it's yeah. Yeah, see, it's the crime scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one like almost like instantly jumped up to 98%.
That's where it's sitting for me too. 98%.
Jordan, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird that it's stopped at 98%.
Maybe it'll eventually load in. I want you guys to watch on stream because it's gonna be behind.
Yeah.
Mm. Do you think this would be better as a second session and we just like spend like what's it called, trying to get this working, get the tech issues sorted out, and then come back? I can do next Sunday as well. If
I mean, same. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could do that if you want to give that a try?
I just don't want to like leave like the stream hanging or anything. I feel like it would be better probably to split it into a part 2. Since honestly, this is like right where the action's going to start, right? Because we're currently investigating the library and everything.
Maybe a little bit. Oh, you
I
guys,
mean-
are you all here?
Yep, I'm in.
I'm still stuck at 98%, but
All of your icons are on crime scene.
Hey.
Eric, are you on?
Yeah,
Oh, there you are.
I am.
oh, I'm here. It loaded. I can see the Dragonborn.
Okay, so I do think you probably have something there. Maybe we'll push through a little bit more, and then because we're gonna need to swap through a couple other scenes. So maybe once we get into the investigation of it all, we can pause and say, we'll do a part 2 at a later date, maybe next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, cool. But everyone's here. Everyone can see. And I drank a whole beer while I was doing that. Jeepers.
Oh.
All right. So as you all come through the door, first Lord Vantrith came in, kind of running past you, Grip, running to Drakeshard, blowing past him, and then falling to his knees on the ground. Drakeshard asked you specifically, Grip, to come in. And he doesn't really protest at anyone else coming in. He's really just specifically looking for your expertise. And he says,
Oh, Grip, thank goodness you're here. I know this isn't the reason, but I need your help. Lord Vaymar has been murdered.
What?
It's the strangest thing. He was here by himself. Take a look.
and as you look to the back, you see Cedric Vaymar pushed up against a bookcase and slumped down to the ground. Sort of turn away from you, turn to one side away from you, you see blood everywhere. You can't see from your particular area like what the specifics are. You can't really see how he died or anything. But you do see Lord Vantrith kneeling further back, not at the body, but a little further back, away from the blood, sort of sobbing. And he says,
I was meant to protect him.
He's at a loss for words as he just kneels there. And Drakeshard says,
I don't have experience with this sort of thing. Would you help me? Would you take a look? Tell me.
Yes, of course.
Tell me who did this.
That I will have to follow up with you on, but lead me over to the corpse.
so as you approach Cedric, you do see, like I said, he's sitting in blood. You see blood up on the bookshelf, and you see blood all on the floor. And you begin to sort of try to assess the situation. You sort of step around Lord Vantrith, who's just, again, kneeling there motionless, saddened, but stunned.
Was he? I'm just going to look down at the body at this point.
Okay.
I'm not going to try and make or comfort them.
Or you have you do have a cleric here as well. You could.
Yeah. I was gonna, yeah, I was gonna come in and seeing that kind of from the door frame, kind of walk in and um I guess probably say something to Lord Vantreth, just you know, giving my profuse, sincerest condolences for what's happened, and let them know that uh, I'm here. If there's anything you need from me to help.
And as you approach Lord Vantrith, kneeling, just in shock, and you place your hand on his shoulder, he does reach up and grab your hand, but he says nothing. He just stares
Sure.
as you
Yeah.
comfort him.
Yeah.
And Drake Shard
What
just sort of
sta-
takes his place next to you, Yvask, and just kind of sort of stands next to you, not knowing. Now, you get the impression that he's familiar with battle, he's familiar with fighting, but when it comes to something like this, something more cerebral, he's a little bit out of his element. If he can't swing a sword at it, he doesn't really know what to do.
Vask sort of leans closer to him and says, I believe this is where you lock down the manor.
And he says,
Oh, I know you probably haven't noticed, but the wards have activated.
and he sort of looks around at the walls, and every now and then you get sort of this gleam of like purple shine over like windows and doors and stuff.
We are locked in, as a matter of fact.
Interesting.
I would like to roll investigation on the body and try to determine what exactly killed him, whether it was blunt force, slashing, poison.
Sure.
And,
So
and-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was going to say, because as he does that, and I've got the medicine skill, could I assist him, even though it's different skills, but trying to find the same outcome of what killed him, or what ultimately was
Yeah,
it did?
certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
why don't you
aid
roll
or help him.
investigation with advantage?
Okay. Advantage. That is a 20.
Whoa.
A 9 and a 4. My rolls. Oh my god, they're awful.
So as you approach the body, you're very careful not to disturb the scene, the blood around it. You're specifically focusing on the body itself, part medically and part just from your knowledge of, you are an investigator. You have knowledge of like forensics. So with Dolgren's help, you begin to sort of roll the body, and as you do so, you see a few things. Most notably, a large dagger sticking out of his chest, and it's not just any dagger. It's a very crude, just vicious looking dagger. It's obsidian with gold gems, and it has runes on it that the blood just seemed to be absorbed into and give off a shine, like a slight shine. And it's directly in the center of his chest. Dolgren, you reach down and you check for carotid pulse, as is your training, and you feel nothing. You reach up and you take his eyes and you gently close his eyelids. Grip, you notice also that his throat is cut.
Wow.
What kind of check would it be would it be a history check to try and identify the dagger or something else?
It would depend on what you're looking for exactly. History could identify any sort of historical significance it could have. You can do an arcana if you're trying to detect any sort of magical elements to it.
If I would rather know what sort of make and where the dagger's from, because that might help narrow down who it belongs to. Because it certainly doesn't look. It looks out of place in the sort of regal bluish attire. Everything here
Sure.
looks far too different.
All right, cool. Do a history check.
Yeah.
And while he does that, I want to use detect magic.
18.
Okay, so he's doing 18. You're casting detect magic. So historically speaking, as you look at the knife, you don't have any specific. It doesn't bring to mind any sort of specific artisan or historical significance. However, you do recognize, just through your experience as an investigator, it's very crudely made. It's obsidian. It's a block of obsidian that appears to have been chipped and whittled down into a blade. But there is some artistry to it. Now, the obsidian is very hard and difficult to manipulate. But what's more interesting to you is how the runes are carved into it. While the blade itself seemed like it was very difficult to sharpen, the runes, there is very difficult, delicate work put into carving these runes into this dagger. You don't know about any significance of the gems, but you do notice how the blood seems to like pool and play and drip around the runes and the gems specifically, and it gives off this sort of purple violet hue as it does so. You recognize the only significance really historically that you find is it seems to be something ancient, something very, very old, using a very ancient methodology of carving. I don't want to say metalwork because it's not metal, but of sharpening a tool. It's very reminiscent to like early hand axes, where they're very crude. But there has been a lot of thought placed into this weapon that's sticking out of his chest. And is that where you're detecting magic?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well,
what's the range on it?
Well,
though? That's probably
it's 30 feet.
All right, so that pretty much. Hold on, it's not going to move you if I look. Right?
Concentrating on the dagger, but also kind of looking around to see maybe if there's some other clues.
30 feet
perhaps.
Here is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no, we're good. All right, so as you cast detect magic, you begin to first and foremost, the thing that you notice the most, the thing you're getting pinged on, is all around you, the walls, like specifically the external walls, the ceiling immediately above you. You're getting a strong hit. It doesn't tell you anything specifically, just if there's presence, right?
Yeah, you see the faint aura, but I can learn the skill if there. I have a school if there's any in particular, like transmutation or enchantment.
Yeah. So around you is actually I don't know what the school would be for that. You notice that there's some sort of a binding. It's the magic around you that you're feeling is the binding wards. It's sort of like a failed safe to close off the building, and it keeps everything to the first floor. It's directly above you. It's to the outer walls. You're also getting a very strong ping off of the dagger. It's giving you some sort of like necrotic energy. Yeah. And you're seeing that it doesn't stop here. It also jumps to another location, and you feel it kind of go across the room and through the floor as if there was drawing a straight line somewhere else. You don't know where it goes to, and you sort of lose it there, but it is tethered to something.
And it's below us, you said?
Yeah, it's going sort of downward and out, so it's not directly below. It's sort of off in the distance.
I'll point that direction and ask. guess I don't know about Lord Ventress. He's kind of inconsolable. But what was the dragonborn? Is it the Is he a dragonborn?
Drakeshard?
Yeah,
Drakeshard? Yeah.
Drakeshard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask Drakeshard. What is that direction?
Nothing. This building has no cellar. There was nothing there.
Are you sure?
I've worked with this family for 3 generations. There was nothing.
Odd. This dagger is linked to something in that direction.
Perhaps it's buried underground. I don't know.
Perhaps. Do you have catacombs somewhere nearby with the dead?
Not to my knowledge. There are the rumors of the family, but they've never been substantiated. I've never seen them. I've been on the grounds for several generations.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I'll kind of turn to Grip and just kind of give him a shrug as to not sure.
Right. You said the dagger is necromantic?
Yes.
What are these runes? I'm gonna take a deeper look at the runes. Could I use an Arcana check for that?
Sure.
Necromantic runes.
Oh, saw that 20 and then it just
Yeah.
rolled over.
Oh
Got
man,
into
a
it, Tim.
2. It's fine. Plus 8. It's still 10.
Still 10.
Yeah.
As far as the rune are concerned, you don't recognize them specifically, but you do notice that they are, they seem very crude and very primordial, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
It's not an elegantly crafted rune.
They're old.
I wouldn't say that they're old. They're just hastily made. Seems to be some sort of primordial symbol. Hmm.
Perhaps there's someone that might recognize them, or maybe there's so many books around. Maybe there's something here that could give us more of an idea.
It could. Speaking of books, you mentioned that there was a trail, a sort of sense coming from somewhere. Where was that? What direction?
I'll point it out to him. Kind of. Yeah, I'm assuming kind of down and out. You said out towards
Yeah,
the
so-
outer wall.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from above, it would be from where he slumped over. It's down and sort of towards the center of the estate, more or less.
Oh,
Or
towards the center.
In that direction.
Okay.
Not to say it is the
Sure.
center, but in that direction.
Right. Yeah. Okay, because I was thinking it was more towards external, but it's more internal. Okay, well, that's even okay. That makes more sense.
So for your investigation check, you specifically looked at the body. Something I didn't indicate to you that I should have, and I apologize, is that just based on your understanding of forensics and also your combined understanding of investigation and medicine, you can tell that the first cut was the throat. And it seemed that someone had slit his throat, likely from behind, and then spun him and stabbed him in the chest. You also know, you see markings on his wrist, like ligature marks.
Yeah.
On his wrists.
Like he
And-
was struggling.
Well, like he was bound or held, or in some way, shape, or form, something held his wrists and were bruised. Maybe he was
Okay.
bound or something. And again, there's the blood on the case and on the wall. Or I'm sorry, the case. Well, you can see this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
From where the blood is. But specifically, the throat was first.
So he was clearly bound in some way. Then they chopped his throat, and then they stabbed him afterwards. But he'd be dead with. What would be the significance of stabbing him in the chest?
You're right. I don't understand. It's doesn't make sense that they would give him 2 killing blows like that. You would do one or the other, but not both. Perhaps it was some type of ritual.
I would have to say so too. The markings, the necromantic energy, it's all lining up to some sort of ritual.
What's
And
happening behind us in the ballroom?
The musicians are still playing, but you don't hear the chatter at all. Everyone's sort of gotten quiet.
Are they aware of what's happened in this room?
They do not know what's happened in this room. They realize something is up. A few of the party members have tried to leave and can't. So there's a little bit of a panic stirring. But they're mostly just sitting waiting for news on what has happened. What's causing these.
Uvas is going to pull from his spell pouch a small piece of fleece and start performing a few esoteric rites, and going to cast Silent Image, and he's going to create the perfect image of Cedric and make it walk out into the room to look around, and he's going to, whilst that's happening, try to notice if anyone seems surprised to see Cedric.
All right, so you're talking back in the ballroom. You're gonna have an image of Cedric appear.
I'm going to make an image of Cedric seem to walk out of the room, look around, and then walk back into the room. And whilst that's happening, Ivesk is going to try and see if anyone seems surprised to see Cedric.
While this happens, Cedric appears to have walked out of the library very calmly and sort of walking the perimeter, not to be center stage, but like just naturally as he normally would. Or how you would imagine that he normally would. And you see a lot of eyes turn to him. He is the sort of the lord of the house. He is not the lord of the house. He's the rightful heir of the house, but they do look for him for spiritual guidance. And they don't seem to get anything from him. As far as people looking surprised to see him, you do notice a couple of people start to like look and then look around. Specifically, Isadoldi kind of like squints at him a little bit disbelief, in a little bit in disbelief. But that's about it.
Okay, I'll just make it walk back into the room so that there's nothing suspicious, and then go back into the room myself whilst the guys are doing what they're doing.
Could you go and follow that trail that you think you find before your spell ends, of course?
If you were to follow the trail, it would lead you to the corner of the room, and then that's about as far as you can see. It only goes 30 feet.
Detect magic is basically like sort of an aura that follows the person. So it's basically anywhere you walk within 30 feet of you, you'll be sensing different kinds of magic.
Yeah,
They'll
it's like
show
30
up as
feet
a
of
color
you, that's a good
spectrum.
point. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you lose it at the corner of the room because it then hits the floor.
Right. Okay.
Like you can see it from where you are going downward to the floor.
Mm-hmm. But then once I get so I know there's something that kind of blocking it, since I know it kind of has that, it can't penetrate certain amount of material.
Well, it's more that it goes underground, and according to Drake Shard, there is no like basement to this building. There's no. It's like built on rock. It's not. There's no catacomb. There's no nothing. So there's nowhere to follow. There's no way to follow it downward. But you do know that it does go downward.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So if you're saying it goes down and there's apparently no catacombs, I'm going to assume that's just because Rickshot doesn't know that there's any catacombs. These fancy mansions, especially one as ancient as these, have to have escape routes for the royal families. So, and those are usually only known by said family members.
Mm-hmm.
And
there
I'm going to
perhaps-
look to the grieving Weimar. You wouldn't happen to know if you have any secret hallways in here?
Secret hallways? No. What is this about hall? No, there's no hallways. Can't you? This. Who did this?
His
Won't
grief
know-
is turning
we won't
to
know that.
agitation.
We won't know that, but that's what I'm here to find out.
He rubbed a lot. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, you see, and somebody had it out for him. All of this talk of planar magics and failing runes, somebody took this opportunity to kill him. We must find
Well-
out who.
Well, from what I've seen, your family has made a lot of enemies.
This is a family that I married into, mind you. I don't know the full breadth of who the Weimars have upset over the generations.
From the few people I have talked to, it seems that Darius would be the type to go ahead and do this for profit. Not much else. I don't think he's a murderer. Lady Isolde hated Cedric's guts, had ample reason to kill him. And, well, the little gnome, Silverleaf, she was a bit burned after the family dropped her employment. All have a little bit of a motive, but we won't have her out talking to the rest of the guests.
Absolutely not. The Lady Isolde would she would never do anything to. No. Though their families have. No, that's not possible. And Silverleaf, she's a failed inventor, nothing more. She was happy to be here for the party. She's happy to be with people. She loves Cedric. She wouldn't do this.
I've seen a lot of people feign happiness and resort to murder. You can't really know it wasn't. You couldn't even really know if it was me, though. Why would I do that? I've got a reputation to uphold for solving these things.
You know, the three of you are unknowns.
True. We don't have any relation to your son.
He looks
or
up at
to
Drake Shard.
The family.
Now, when you did your investigation, I left it to just be the body. So anything else that you were trying to investigate?
Yeah.
The room or the
I'm
blood, the
gonna
books,
try and-
anything.
I'm going to be investigating the blood trail next, and because there is a lot of blood splatter for just a a stab and a slash.
Okay. I'll have you do one more investigation check, and that will probably be it.
Basically, this next investigation isn't necessarily related to the body; it's related to the overall scene
Scene,
that it's
yeah.
found in. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Finally, a decent roll.
Oh.
15 for a
I-
26.
Thought it was gonna be 1 for a second there. All right, so looking at the blood. Now you've already established that he had his throat slit first. Judging by the way that the blood is spattered throughout, it seems that the assailant must have come up from behind, slit his throat. The blood must have sprayed out, and then he was spun because it sprays across as he spun.
Mm.
From there, he was stabbed likely against the bookshelf. In the way that the blood is smeared upward, it would appear that he was lifted somehow.
Ooh.
And then dropped. He dropped dead at the foot of that bookshelf. Now, the most interesting and peculiar about all of this, from his throat being cut, him spinning, him being stabbed and lifted, the way that the blood spatter sprays out, there are no voids in the spray across the floor, meaning the assailant was nowhere near him when it happened. Nothing blocked. There's no body to block the blood from spraying as he spun and was lifted. Whatever happened, the assailant must have kept a distance somehow. No blood sprayed out on them to avoid it hitting the ground. There's no void. So even with that, he was somehow lifted and then fell to the ground. As far as the investigation in the area is concerned, you do notice that he has some books out. They don't seem to tie to this. As far as the investigation check of it all is concerned, you don't notice anything that would indicate like it being a part of the crime scene specifically. They're out of reach of the blood spatter, and so on. There are books open, though. It's more for perception, but
Would this be your purview to?
Yeah,
Look
but
at
I
each
would,
of the
I
books.
would, what's it called? Explain, like, after reconstructing the sort of crime scene in my head, I go ahead and share the results. Sounds insane.
so as you're
So,
pantomiming the area in a very Sherlock Holmes-y kind of way, everyone in the room is captivated by the description. So he was killed by no one, Drake Shard says.
well, if you believe the theories, he could have been killed by a ghost.
Who's ghost?
And this is one of those things that I do not. All I know is that Cedric is dead. He was seemingly killed in some sort of ritual murder. The murderer was presumably not here and had the power of telekinesis?
In ligature marks.
This is an interesting crime.
Yeah, that's that.
And he was clearly bound.
Could I do religion to see if that is somehow reminds me of any kind of rituals or anything I've heard of or familiar with?
I mean, you can do a religion check, sure.
Okay, just to see if it gives me any kind of any ideas. I don't know.
All right, so
Yeah, it's very odd.
you're talking about the runes specifically, or just the staging of the scene?
Yeah, all kind of all of it. Yeah. Well, with the dagger, with the runes, with it being necromantic magic, with the multiple pieces to it, with the ligature marks, the slashing of the throat, the stabbing, just any of that kind of coalesces into some type of rituals or sacrifice or something.
Yeah, well, you recognize it very much as
It
being
might not.
tied to several. There's several religions that believe in this type of blood magic. Nothing about it specifically from a religious standpoint
Okay.
kind of pinpoints what it is, but this is very reminiscent of, generally speaking, um, blood magic rituals throughout several religions.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Got it. Hmm. Yeah, I'll mention to Grip maybe if there's a way he could look around the library. Perhaps there's a
Yeah.
hidden passageway or something hidden here.
Before I go like searching throughout the library like a madman, I'm gonna check the books Cedric was reading and researching,
Sure.
the ones on the side.
Okay, so you're gonna
What
walk
are
up
the
to
titles of those books?
um
Yeah.
one of the books is mostly the one on a there's one on a desk in history of the Weimar family. You can tell that it's been recently paged through, and it's pushed back to as far as it can go. And there's some information about the Weimars who existed at the time of a specific ritual that was done, and it's more of a family tree than a description of what the ritual was. The book on the desk, though, you can tell by the binding and by the cover that it's called Shadow Veil Codex. And this one, just by paging through, you can tell that it's, the thick, sort of time worn tome. It's got like faded black leather, and on the cover there's an intricately sketched silver, eerie, like crescent moon on it. All of the pages are old and worn. This has been flipped through several times, and it's something that Cedric was recently focused on, as you can tell by notations that he made in the margins of where it's open to. It's carefully scribbled. It speaks of 6 runes, with the note that originally bound whatever magics are happening here at the Weimar estate. Whatever the rumored myth and legend of the Weimars, he was trying to find a way to replicate what they had done so long ago.
Is it okay if I take this book?
If, of course, if it will help with the investigation.
Yes. It seems Cedric was researching the rituals involved in here before he died. And I'm sure with the next part of the investigation going on, this might help clue some pieces together.
It is in your inventory. It's it's under equipment for some reason, but it's there.
I say it. Hmm.
Do you have any idea what's been happening? Drake Shar
Careful.
says.
Well, your son appears to have been researching the ancient Weimar ritual that involves sealing away the magic of the veilment, and fear he's got himself caught up in something that he really shouldn't have.
I told
I'm-
him that it was utter nonsense. It was just children's foolery to he spoke of worrying about the planar runes and binding rituals being weakened from lack of maintenance over generations, but it's the it's the dreams of children. I told him it was utter nonsense. And now look at him.
See, I'm not so sure. Would it be possible to get some form of input from Cedric? I look to the cleric. Perhaps the ability to speak with the dead
I'm
is
afraid.
in your forte.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was not prepared to do that at this time. Perhaps tomorrow.
I'm not sure we have that long.
Oh no.
Okay, so what needs to happen now is, well, clean up the body, I suppose.
I will take care of the body, but do you think we are in danger?
I would say so, yes. I wouldn't recommend we go ahead and let anyone go. Keep these magical wards up for as long as they'll hold.
He agrees. He nods in agreement because he knows that there's nothing. He has very little say in them coming down.
Yeah.
Looking through the codex, I'm seeing references to something, some sort of creature.
A creature, you say?
Huh? Yes. I don't dare say names like this. Usually these eldritch entities, you give them power by saying names. Here, and like he'll like finger through it a bit and then like point out the name on the page and then hold it up to what's it called? Drake. I always forget his name.
Drake
I'm
Shard?
really terrible with names in real life. Drake Shard, yeah. I'm terrible with names in real life as well. So yeah, he'll hold up the name of the creature to Drake Shard right there.
And Drake Shard's going to look at it and say,
Nigzareth. Nigzareth? Am I reading that correctly? Nigzarath.
I think so. I think so. I wouldn't say it too many times if I were you.
I have
Does
never
that
heard
name,
that name.
ring a bell to me?
No. Never.
Does that ring a bell to me?
Oh, to you.
Religion-wise?
No. No, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
Well, you know what?
So
hold on.
the big
Why
thing
don't you
here,
do you did a religion check for the ceremony, but why don't you do a history check?
Okay. Well, they're not going to be good.
It does
Oh,
not.
it's almost 18.
It rings
Yeah,
no
definitely not.
It rings no
oh,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the biggest thing, and he continues like filtering through all of Cedric's notes, like stopping on key pages wherever there's a bookmark or a missing piece of paper being used as one or a highlight. It specifically says that there's some sort of summoning ritual, I suppose. It requires the blood of the lineage of a lineage bound to a sacred site. That would be Cedric. Whatever this creature is, this fucking Nixareth, it seems to have required the death of your son. And I know you don't believe all these talks about this arcane phenomenon and the family history, but it seems that whatever it is very, very real.
I see. It's my my wife. She was always the one. She was always a believer. That's why this night was so important to her, but it can't be.
Van Traith continues to sort of like, he's on his knees still, sort of staring at Cedric's body in disbelief. He's having difficulty processing all of this. It's all, though he's a half elf, things of magic and whatnot, he's always accepted this story of the Vaymars to be nothing but nonsense. He was married to one, never saw anything that like that himself. He's having difficulty finding resolution to what you're saying. Certainly the name Nick Seraph means nothing to him.
Unfortunately, I don't really have anything else to go on. We'd have to. I suppose, was anyone with anyone during the time of the crime? Because that point, they would have an alias, and we could probably rule them out temporarily as a suspect.
I mean, as far as you know, there was nobody in here at the time of the crime. See, as you entered, and there's only one door in through the hallway that you came in. You did not find anybody in this room with him. You also came from a room full of people. I mean, there's a lot of people, so like keeping track of everybody might be kind of tough. But
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. Like, if anyone was like misplaced for a moment in the party, like
Sure.
no one can say I was with this person. If someone's name comes up and no one says that they were with that person, then then they no longer have an alias.
Well, I
Or
know that
alibi, not alias.
Yeah, you all couldn't see the board at the time, but just so that you have the information, Grip was standing next to Darius and Isolde. Evask was standing next to Drake Shard for the most part, and the Reverend. And I think the captain was in that too. They sort of parted to let Van Draith start to give a speech. And Dolgan, I think you were right next to him. I think you were next to you were next to the Reverend. Obviously you could see Van Traith. He was speaking. You were kind of near Madame Veretti. There's also the other guy with the mask that you guys were in, that Grip was next to. There's two masked party goers. Two additional ones are probably still out there. So yeah. You could see. Well, they didn't know who she was at that point, so never mind. But you could see other people. You just you've asked the people you could see you hadn't met yet you could see the band. The band was there. And then Dolgren, that you hadn't met anybody else either that you would be able to easily identify as having an alibi.
Yeah.
I suppose now we should start looking for the ritual sites, and we'll start with the supposed, hidden floorboard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there anything below us here?
If you'd have to ask before ripping up their floorboards.
Most definitely.
Why don't you roll a perception check, and then we're gonna rely on the perceivable auditory cues of you stomping on the ground looking for hollow spaces.
And I help giving them a
Either of you can
advantage?
do it.
Okay.
Even Goldie, if
Mine's-
you want to. I know that you are still standing
Mine's-
by Drake Shard.
Avex is just letting them work at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not skilled with perception, so whoever is, I'll just lend my help.
Okay. I've got a +3 to perception.
Okay.
So not really crazy. I imagine that the cleric would have more because that's wisdom
It's
based.
+3 for me.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, you should still do it anyway because you've seen my rolls
Yeah, that's
today.
true. All right, mine's not been much better.
I'll help you look. I'll help you look.
Okay, all right. All right, so give me advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15. Not horrible. Anytime
Right.
it's over 10, to me, it's good.
So as you're sort of walking towards that corner, you're stomping on the ground, listening for hollow spaces. You're stomping. You're not hearing anything that's really striking you as like a hidden door or any sort of. You're not getting any difference from the feedback of you stomping as you walk across. It's not changing in density. Nothing is rattling. Nothing is really striking you. You do kick a bookshelf, and you get sort of a weird sense of it. There's sort of a little bit of give in it. And you
Oh.
grab the book and you the bookshelf and you sort of give it a shake, and you notice that it seems to be attached to the wall, but it sort of has a little bit of a jangle to it, like there's something else going to this bookshelf on the north wall.
Grip, I think there's something here.
Ah, the classic hidden bookcase. Ah, wonderful. Let's find the switch.
I
Uh,
I'm sorry if I may. That's you. I can open that for you. It's our museum, I guess you could call it. We have a collection of weapons and whatnot.
oh,
We keep it.
Yes,
wonderful. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I could do that. It's probably prudent that we arm ourselves given the situation. But just those of you in the room. None of the partygoers should probably. We don't know who is involved.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Do you want to move into that room or do you want to continue to investigate? Because I'm afraid what's going to happen when I activate that map.
Oh, yeah.
I think we found most of what's here, though, right?
I
We've,
think so too.
yeah.
I can't think of anything else we could investigate here.
I don't
Okay.
think I missed anything too bad. Though, low rolls do say otherwise.
True.
Did it work? So as you
I'm moving to the battle map.
In the battle map
Oh.
manner.
all
That's where I'm at.
of your letters, with the exception of purple, everyone's letter but purple came to the battle map.
Yeah, I don't know what is about this map. Warning, you cannot switch scenes until you finish loading your current view, and the current view is 99% loading on the battle map. Ah,
So as you're standing by, he should have blood on him. Let's do that. Bam, 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 bam. As you're standing by the bookshelf near Cedric, Drake Shard walks up to a bookshelf and grabs a particular tome and clicks on it in a very, very typical type of hidden bookshelf kind of way. And these bookshelves
Nice.
open, they swing open to reveal a whole armory back there. It's not meant to be a secret. It's just the way that the building is built, and this is where they keep their collection of weaponry. It's a collection that is, as Drake Shard tells you, we've had this collection here for generations. It's always sort of been here. We've just never had a reason to use it. And I don't know that these will still work. Oh, they do. They do still work. Okay. So as you enter the bookshelf, he sort of makes the way in there first. Is anyone else loaded into the scene yet?
I can see the ballroom.
Yeah, I'm in the the manor, battle map manor.
I think it's
Oh, you
just
guys.
me.
Oh,
who
I'm
hasn't
sorry. You
loaded
haven't
in.
moved in here yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just me who's having issues at this point. I'm just watching through your stream.
Okay. I just pulled you into this room as you follow. Van Traith stays behind,
Ooh.
and you find this large
Okay.
armory in this room. And Drakeshard says, "Whatever you think you'll need, just please help yourself. But leave what you don't need." And so there's lots of weapons about. Specifically, there are cases. Ooh, this one's missing. Hold up. It's probably when I deleted the piles that it started to act kind of messed up. There should be an armor
yeah.
stand here.
Probably look at the hammer.
Oh no, it's still there. It is still there. Sorry. Can you maybe not see them? Is the question. Mm-hmm.
See a
What are we
shield
looking for?
cavalier,
There should be
Oh,
a.
I see. It
chest.
just
ranged chest.
There should
yeah,
be
it
a.
just appeared. Weapons chest.
Oh, it might just be because of where you're standing. Never mind.
That.
Yeah, I can see the adamantine plate.
Okay. It's
So
it's a stand. It's just showing you the first item in the stand because I deleted the piles on.
are they expecting us to arm ourselves, or?
Yeah, he said that you can
That
take
is
whatever
the
you
case.
need.
Okay. All right. I'll heft the hammer here in the middle since it's
Just go along. Look at
looks
the.
like
Do you see the chests on the outer side? That's mostly
I
decoration.
do.
Look through the chests. That's where all the actual items are.
Okay. Do you double click? How do you access?
You have to move next to the item and then
Ah.
double click it. And then it
Okay.
should open up a a window where you can move items between the chest and the sheet.
No, I don't get anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, it might be because I deleted that.
I'm still having issues actually like loading into the map. So I don't really need much in terms of thing. I've got mage armor and spells.
Well,
you know,
I can break down what's in
there's
each chest for you. So in the chest that you're looking at, Dolgan, you notice that it has it's actually a weapons rack filled with these. You just popped in, filled with these holy weapons, and all of these weapons. It's various. There's morning stars and short swords and war hammers and daggers and hand axes, and they all seem to give the same kind of a buff. Trying to get it to show me so I can just read it instead. So they're all Holy Avenger weapons. They give you a +3 bonus to attack and damage, and then when you hit a fiend or undead, they take 2d10 radiant damage. When you draw the weapon, it creates a 10-foot emanation originating from you. You and all creatures friendly to you in the emanation have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And you don't have sensitive. But they're all pretty much the same, but they're just different types of weapons. They all have the same
Different
benefit.
types.
Yeah.
Well, I'll draw a warhammer then. from that
I will give you.
since I'm
a-
proficient with Warhammer.
If Vasco collect a greatsword if there's one, the same.
A great sword, yeah.
Is there a dagger or a staff version of that?
There is
Quarterstaff.
there are 2 daggers, and there is a quarterstaff. Yes.
I will take a quarterstaff version.
Okay.
You always got to resort to your bonk stick in case your spells run out.
That's true. That's true.
After Vasco lifts it, he spends a minute bonding with the weapon, so the axe is Pax weapon.
Okay. Wait, where did
Yeah,
you go?
we-
I can't see you. There you are.
Oh wait, no. Holy Avenger stuff requires attunement by a paladin.
Paladin. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that. You can use it.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
I was gonna forego all of the attunement anyway, just so that we don't have to worry about it for one shot.
Oh yeah.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Thematically, it works because of what the Weimar states were here to do and protect, and this whole thing makes a lot of sense in that regard.
Sure.
You can use
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
All right, and you wanted a great sword, right? Yep, there's one in here. Bam. I don't recall. Did we actually did Drake Shard take your weapons from you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he actually did
Yep.
take them from Goldie or not.
Goldie had his packed
Oh.
weapon, which disappears when
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was. And he actually didn't
Yeah.
get past that, right? Okay.
Speaking, sorry.
I said he never got past that. You showed the pack weapon, it disappeared, and he sort of like, well, just keep it away. So, all right, so that's the weapons chest. There's an items chest, a ranged chest, a shield rack, and armor rack.
Oh.
What's
Yeah.
on the armor rack?
The armor rack holds a chain shirt, a leather armor, plate armor, chainmail, half plate, scale mail, studded leather, and padded resistance. Did I say plate? Yes, I did. They're all armor of necrotic resistance,
Ooh.
and there's a bunch of it.
I'll take probably can use heavy armor, so trying to remember all the heavy. I don't know if I need plate, but I was thinking like half plate.
There's a half plate. That's medium.
Okay. Medium. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd probably
the,
go with
the
medium.
chainmail is heavy, and the plate is heavy.
Yeah.
Would you like the
Yeah.
chainmail or the half plate?
Let me do chainmail since
All right.
I did chainmail.
I know you're
previously.
wearing chainmail fashionably.
Right.
You're fashionably wearing
That's
chainmail.
right. Under my robes. That's right. That's right. It blends in.
Yeah, it blends right in.
So yeah, so I'll do chainmail
All right.
version.
It is in your inventory.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Anyone else?
If Vasco slip on some studded leather.
I cannot equip armor. I am not proficient in
That's
armor,
true.
so
That's true.
so I'm skipping this one.
So bad. All right, you have your studded leather. You want to move on down to the shield?
Yeah.
On the shield rack, you see a shield of missile attraction, shield of the cavalier, and then a +3 shield.
yeah. Guess that was over here. Missile attraction, you said?
Yeah, shield of missile attraction.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Shield missile attraction, shield of the Cavalier, and shield +3.
I don't. Does anybody else use a shield?
I
Nope.
do not believe so.
Nope.
Okay. I'll probably take the shield +3 because I don't know what the shield. Well, what does the shield of the Cavalier do? Because I'm not familiar
Sure.
with that.
Can I send this to the? I can't. That stinks. Can I? Can I send it to chat?
Yeah, I don't know with Foundry. I think there's a
let's
way.
try
But,
it.
oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I got it. All winning shield +2 bonus. Forceful bash. Okay. Protective field. How's reaction? Oh, yeah. I like that. You can use shield to create a immobile 5-foot emanation originating from you. Yeah, I'll take the shield of the Cavalier.
Shield of the Cavalier it is.
Okay, because I think that would be helpful to
Okay.
protect not only myself but others.
All right. So, moving on down. Do you want to do ranged or item chest?
Don't think any of us use ranged.
Okay. Items chest. It is. This items chest holds the Boots of Elvenkind, Cloak of Protection, a Mantle of Spell Resistance, a Wand of Lightning Bolts, and a Wand of
Dang.
Secrets. I'm missing something.
Oof.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Since I chose the shield, they can choose whatever
Yeah.
they require.
I still have 2 more attunement slots thanks
Yeah.
to not using armor.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, just check you have enough attunement slots as well.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, I'm full.
I guess I will take the Cloak of Protection.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Pascal slip on the boots as well.
Boots of Elvenkind. Okay, that's the advantage on stealth checks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that require attunement? The boots?
No.
There you go.
I have a racial benefit, Skulker. So as long as the stealth check is made in dim light or darkness, I already have advantage. So I don't necessarily need boots, but can you list the other items besides the cloak? It was the
Mantle of Spell Resistance, Wand of Lightning Bolts, and Wand of Secrets.
Nice. I will. So that's one cloak. I'll take the lightning bolt wand and mantle of spell.
That's a good one, from what I remember.
Can
Oh, I
you
could've
wear
just-
both at the same time? I guess
you cannot.
it's 2 cloaks, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pascal slip on the cloak if no one wants it.
Yeah, I'm already
Oh.
using the what's it called? The cloak of protection. So I'll take the other wand as well. I'll take
the Wand of Secrets.
I'll dual wield some wands.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
What
Wand
does
of
the Wand of
Secret.
Secrets do? Can you? I'm not familiar with that one.
The Wand
That
of
one
Secrets
allows you what's it called? Allows you to use the one char and make and see within a secret door. A trap is within 60
Oh.
feet of you.
Nice. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Handy. I like it.
Okay. I think you gave us the wrong cloaks, by the way. I have
I
the
did?
mantle spell resistance in my inventory.
Oh, you do? That's weird.
Yeah.
Gold, do you have it? You have the spell resistance in your inventory? Oh yeah, I must have. It's in both. For
Let's
some
see where
reason.
those are.
Yeah.
It's on your character sheet. Come on, go away. Delete.
I can delete. Yeah. Oh,
There we go. It's gone.
yeah.
Oh, am I only sending those to whoever?
I believe I can just grab a cloak of compend. I can grab it from the compend. It's fine.
Okay, that works. Too. Oh, maybe I grabbed the wrong. That's probably what it is. I probably just grabbed the wrong one.
Just grab the wrong one. Yeah.
I put it in there. You should have it now.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Yeah. And that uses up all my attunement slots because the Wonder Secrets doesn't use attunement. It's just got 3 charges.
Ooh,
So.
Good.
Yep.
I think we're well equipped.
All right. How long would attunement still require a short rest though?
Not for this. Not in this case. We were gonna forego any attunement requirements just because it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of what this is. All right, and
We
that's
want to,
that's everything in this room as far as the chests are concerned.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we want to pause it here and continue?
It's up to you.
I'm fine with it either way.
I can keep going if you want to. If you want to give it a pause, it is midnight.
Yeah. It's getting late. It's getting late here.
Okay.
Oh, sure. There, yeah. I gotta get up early to take my son to school. So.
All right. In the time between us picking up, I will do what I can to make these maps more loadable and maybe find a solution for our issue.
Yeah, well, and let us know too, and we can just hop on.
No, I'm available during the week if you just want to ping me if you have someone to test to load in.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
I think you're right because I think it's probably because I'm streaming because I tested this quite a bit during the week, but I wasn't streaming when I tested it, so that's probably a bandwidth issue.
Yeah.
Did I test it streaming? Maybe it's just because everyone's connected. Anyway, okay, so we will end it there. But you all made some pretty good progress. You met a lot of the players, not every player. You met most of the players. It sounds like Grip has a few suspects in mind as well, and now you all have gone from no weapons to like all the weapons, which is great.
Yeah, I'm noticing the theme of anti-demonic weaponry.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh no.
I was spending the whole time thinking, well, I'm glad we brought a cleric.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that the 5 of you were equipped for what was to come.
Yeah.
All 5 of you.
Yep,
Yeah.
all 5.
All 3 of our 5, yes.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping us get through all of the technical issues. Hopefully, we'll be better next time, and we'll work out a time. Do you want to say next Sunday, or do you want to just ping it in Discord?
Yeah,
works for me.
the same time next Sunday works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like these evening games because they don't tend to get in the way of anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually why I do it. But Goldie, does that work for you?
Yeah, I wake up in the morning for these, so it's easy for me.
That's right. That's right. Okay, great. We'll just plan next Sunday then. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Is there anything that you want to? Is there anything anyone would like to promote before we go?
Not for me.
No.
Not at the moment.
All right. Cool.
YouTube /Ghostlight.
Go to
Ghostlight. Go subscribe.
Yeah.
Go subscribe if you're watching still. Actually, everything is frozen, so I have no idea if anyone is. Hit the follow button. That would be great. This is members only on YouTube right now, so if you're watching over on YouTube, you already are. But yeah, hang out. We'll do part 2 next Sunday, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we're kind of close to new players. Although we can talk about creative ways to get people in here, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll play it. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what they say. I know Fargrim wanted to play, so. All right. All right, team. Well, good job today. And we will to be continued.
Okay. Good night,
All right.
everyone. I'll see you on the
All right.
next.
Take care.
Yep. Good night.
Yep. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the game.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for the game, Ghost. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. See you later. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye.
Okay, friends. Thanks for hanging out. This is going to do it for me for tonight. Stay tuned this week. We got all kinds of stuff coming up. We still have lots of No Man's Sky lore-related videos coming, as well as the Solid 10 one-shot next Saturday afternoon, which should be interesting. And then part 2 of A Dance of Hidden Plays. So we will see you then. And as always, dear Rift Walkers, see you tonight. Take care.